So, I'm here to teach you guys how to make Mario say bad words. It should be a lot of fun. I opted to, first of all, hi, I'm Brando. This is Amber. We are a dynamic duo. We produce music, we make videos. You may have seen me on YouTube. I went viral about 15 years ago for a Mega Man 2 video. I've also done Final Fantasy videos, Mario 3, Castlevania 3, Zelda. And basically what I do is I make Sprite videos. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do the same thing in case you're interested in how it's done and my process. I opted to actually start from scratch on this one. So we are starting from nothing. I have actually pre-ripped some sprites from the internet. So we'll talk about that first. We're going to go into Photoshop. What you will need to do sprite videos is a good copy of Photoshop or GIMP or anything that does layering that you can cut the background of things with. And a video editing software that has keyframing, and that's really it. Taking a deep breath. And if anybody has any questions throughout any of this, just feel free to raise your hand, and I'll be happy to answer as best I can. All right, so to get it started, I've grabbed some sprites from the internet. I went to Spriter's Resource. If you guys have heard of it, it's a great website for all your Nintendo, Super Nintendo needs. And basically users will upload sprite sheets like this one. And you see we've got Mario here. And what I do is I just grab, let's say, our first sprite here, and I copy it, and then I open up, I start a new file, and this is the important part here. Nintendo and Super Nintendo use 256 by 224, as we all know. I don't know why that's 72. And so that is your Nintendo resolution. And I do like to keep the regular resolution just so everything is consistent. Sometimes I'll do a widescreen just to get more of the level in the shot, you know? And it'll make the sprites a little smaller in comparison, but this is how I do it. So then we move our sprites over here. Whoops, that didn't work. We're going to copy Big Mario, and we're going to paste him right into there. And we're going to cut out the background. It's very important you do nearest neighbor for all your, where do you even find that? For all of your editing purposes. Sorry, I'm a little wound up. I just ran all the way down here, so adrenaline's kicking. And for me, I like to, I use this resolution just as a basis because my video is going to be the same resolution, but probably 3 or 4 times greater. I multiply it, and you'll see that after I start rendering my GIFs. Essentially, I use GIFs for everything. It's just a series of GIF animations. What I do is I center, why isn't this working? I center my sprites right in the middle, just so they're all on the same spot. And sometimes I'll add another layer down here, and I'll just come in and I'll draw a line where the floor is supposed to be, so, you know, everything's lined up. And of course you mute that out when you render. So we will get started on. Let's just make him say some stuff first. We are going to start a new layer, and first thing I do is I work on vowels. A, E, I, O, U, you know. For A, it's just an open mouth, and essentially I find a color, or like maybe a darker color for his mouth. We'll use like a dark red, and we will just edit this over top of it as a separate layer. You see what I mean? So when you click on it, it looks like he's talking. Her. And then I do E. I don't know why I'm hurrying. We're here for an hour. I'm like rushing through this, you know. And then we do E, which is teeth, you know, E. You think about how your mouth looks. He's going to look kind of wonky. I've actually never edited Mario before, so this is the first time for me. I thought it would be fun. We'll do a wider mouth for E, because when you say your E's, we're exaggerating. And I is just a combination of A and E. I-E. You see what I mean? Let's make this A a little bigger. And I always do like label things. And then we move on to O. Welcome in, welcome in. For O, I try to get a darker color. We'll use a darker green like his mustache. Black would also work. We want darker. And we, it's that simple, just a little dot right there. It looks like he's going, you know. Oh. Sometimes I do like that too. Just kind of give him a jaw, push the jaw forward. And let's think, what else do we need? Consonants, we don't really work on consonants so far. We use A for a lot, A, blah, 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 because you can see it looks like he's talking. And so, when I'm done with that, I will actually put in a walking animation too. And I'll do the same thing for the walking animation. I'm not really sure how Mario's animated, so this is going to be really fun. And we can actually reuse these. All right. For animations, I just, like I said before, I just make a GIF animation. If you're familiar with Photoshop, the timeline's on the bottom here, and that's where your animation comes in. It's a little fast right now, but I haven't set it up yet. We're going to grab the next frame. And back before Spriter's resource had so many, for lack of a better word, resources. I actually used to do this manually. I used to go in and rip the sprites from an emulator myself. You know, emulators, you can slow down the speed of it, so I would just slow it down or like pause it on certain frames, take a screen cap, load it into Photoshop, just cut the background out. And that's another good way to do it if you're doing like something that they don't have sprites for on the internet. You can just do it yourself. And it's pretty easy these days. So our first frame is that one. Our second frame is this one, I hope.
Oh, our projector is
did
flickering.
we crap out?
It's back.
It's back.
Okay.
Can't handle the Mario. third frame here. And I actually use the underneath layer here, the second frame, as kind of a guide to where the third frame goes. You want it all lined up. And we're going to make sure that looks good. We're going to select all these frames down here, and we're going to change the time on them to probably 0.2 or 0.5. That's usually what I stick with. You can do custom times too, but that's how many milliseconds between each frame. That looks all right, I think. And if I see any inconsistencies, like you can see he's kind of got a mullet in the back, I check to see if like there's something underneath, and there isn't. So as nitpicky and as OCD as I am, I will go and I will delete the mullet. Oh, I got it set to wrong mode here. I got it set to brush. You want it on pencil for pixel art. I will actually just delete that so it's consistent. It distracts me, you know. And there's no rules. You can make your own Mario. And I also noticed there's one missing here too. So, whoops. I'll give him some hair back there. So that looks pretty good.
And you may find with some of these games too that as sprite art, once you actually look at it frame by frame, it's missing things.
Oh yeah, Chrono Trigger is real bad about that.
Yeah, especially really old games. That was before you had entire art departments working on these. It was more like, get it out. We've got a budget of $10,000 to make this game. So just be on the lookout for weird cross frames. And
yep, you might have to fix some stuff, especially if you're a purist like me and you want the hard pixel look. Because these guys, they were making pixels and they were relying on that CRT blur. So especially with Chrono Trigger, they did some cool tricks with Chrono Trigger actually, if you read up on it. But that's why they were so sloppy with the sprite work, and I had to fix a lot of Chrono Trigger when I made my video because I am a purist. I love the pixel look personally, but that's just me. Okay, so we've got step 1 complete. We've got Mario just kind of strolling along. We can actually speed that up a little bit, maybe 0.1. That looks about right.
a little less swagger.
Yeah. And so then what we would do is we would do some math. And we would render this, save for web, GIF. You want to make sure you're at nearest neighbor again, because if you're not, it's going to look blurry. Here, I'll see if it... it's not really showing up, but... Yeah, if you don't set it to nearest neighbor, it will look blurry. And I use 3 or 4x. So we're doing, let's do 300%. Because when this is on your monitor, if it's too small in the video editing program, it will be blurry. So you want it bigger. And actually for my Castlevania 3 video, I went up to 12x on some of those sprites because I was zooming right in on them. But so we'll go with 768 by 672, and that right there is going to be our video size. We want to keep this consistent so everything is lined up. And so we render this in sprite animation, Mario walk, and that's an animated GIF. Then we go to our video software, which I'm using Vegas. I can't recommend it enough. It's great software. I've been using it for too long. I don't want to give my age away. And then, of course, we find the folder, which is on our desktop. And we load Mario in there. Of course, I hadn't really set my project size yet, so we'll do that now. 768, 672, it's already there. Cool, it knows. And again, you want nearest neighbor on everything. You want no blur or anything. To get rid of the blur on your tracks is a setting on here. You right click and I don't really remember how to do it, but if we have problems, I'll figure it out. So now he's on a black background here. You can't really see him. And we've got our quality set to good, so we'll set that to full. And this is our little video monitor here. I don't know why it's doing that. We're not having as many technical difficulties as we had Friday, so that's good. Yes. And of course we want them on a background too, right? So we're going to load up our background, which I've got all sorts of sheets here I prepared just because I knew I wouldn't have internet connection down here. So I just grabbed this stuff ahead of time and was just going to figure it out on the fly. I've got World 1-1 from Mario. We're going to copy it and we're going to paste it right into this animation sheet, so it's also lined up. Oh no, it's not. It's not lined up at all. But it is the right size. So, and actually, we might want to open up a separate file for that. Sometimes I do when I'm scrolling, like when he's walking, you want the background to scroll, so you're going to need more of that background rendered. So we're going to open a new one. That was 768, whoops, by 672, 72 pixels per inch. I've got my grid up, that's what that is, sorry. And we're going to paste that in there. That doesn't look right. Oh yeah, because we're at the wrong resolution. What am I doing? That's my mistake. We're going to go back and we're going to fix the size of this canvas to 256 by 224, which is the native resolution of NES and SNES, if you weren't here for the intro. And we're going to post that right there. And then what I do from here is I take the canvas size, I anchor it on the left, so this is going to stay put. And I make the width like 300% depending on how far I want to go with it. So that's going to be my background. And we're going to render this again at 300%. So we're back at 672 high. And that's gonna be nice and in line with our animated GIFs. So world 1, 1. And that can just be a ping. That doesn't need to be a GIF. I prefer ping, but I guess we've rendered as GIF anyway, so it's fine. And then I'm going to F5 that. We can't F5 in Vegas. We refresh manually. There we go. And we just drag it underneath, right there. And as you can see, it looks wonky, which is why we go into our properties here, our event pan crop, and we click match output aspect. And as you can see in our preview window, we are the right size. We're going to move this over here, which I hold shift and I press left and right on the directional pad, and that does it for me. It's a really great tool. Left and right on the D-pad. Why am I calling it a D-pad? Oh, because we're playing Nintendo games. So yeah, we've got that there. And we are going to put Mario in our frame the same exact way. We're going to click right here. This is our frame position. This is our keyframe. This is our first keyframe. So this is where Mario starts. We're going to move him down, and we're going to line him up as best we can. Zoom in a little bit. And we look like we're good. Zooming back out. Oops, I screwed it up. And we're going to have him walk onto the screen. And how we're going to do that is we're going to set him outside of the screen. And then later on in the keyframe, depending on how fast things are moving, probably about right here, you can see that it's lined up right here as well. So you can tell where you are in Vegas. It's really nifty. The new Vegas, I can't recommend it enough. Vegas 21, oh, it's so good. You double click, that's your new keyframe. You're going to slide Mario back over, and we're going to want him about center. So when the video plays, he's going to stop in the middle. He's going to keep walking, but at this point, we are going to go into our background, make another keyframe, and then we're going to move the background instead. So like this. Oh, I screwed it up. Not quite there. We're going to put a keyframe there. I just screwed it up. Okay. We're going to put our keyframe there, and then from there, we are going to find out how far we want Mario to walk. Let's move him out here. And really, it's about how it looks and how it feels. So you're going to want to mess with it. As you can see, once we hit that, the background starts. Looks like he's walking kind of slow. It's kind of like mall walking. So we're gonna move that back a little bit so our background moves a little faster. And so, at this point, we're going to have Mario stop. We're going to go back to Mario. We're going to add another keyframe. And that's going to be where our second sprite for Mario comes in, which is his idle sprite. Now for that, I would actually start a new file. I would keep all my different types of animations separate from each other in separate files so I don't get confused. But for this purpose, actually no, I am going to save this as Mario idle, and that'll be our idle. And actually I didn't even save the walking animation, so we're going to redo that too. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to save that as Mario Walk. So now we've got Mario Walk and Mario Idle. Idle is only one frame, so we are going to delete these other frames down here, these animation frames. And as you can see, they're on the same line, and this is really important because you want all your sprites to line up no matter what. You're going to have to do a lot of math if you want to do some more technical stuff. But this is just an intro. So we are going to render Mario idle at 300% again, so it's the same size. And we're going to load him in right there where that keyframe stops. We're going to pull this back. It's going to snap to our marker. And we are going to refresh, pull Mario in there. So he's going to stop. He's going to say, what the fuck am I doing here? But this is not a PG panel. I made sure of that so I can say curse words. We're going to copy this keyframe, and this is right here where Mario is walking. This is our Mario walk sprite. We're going to copy this, and actually I leave one space just because it doesn't matter. This space here is the actual frame, so if you put one here, it doesn't matter. You can leave one frame open. We're going to copy this keyframe. We are going to go into Mario Walk, click this keyframe, and then paste. And that's going to put him in the same exact position. And of course, you're going to want to do the same for your background. Oh yeah, background's already stopped. So, what in the heavenly fuck am I doing here? It says Mario. Where the fuck am I? We're going to play this. We're going to see how it looks. He's just walking kind of slow today. It's okay. I'm glad actual Mario's not this slow. But as you can see, he stops, and he's got deep thoughts, as you can tell. So our next step, we're going to make him talk. We're going to make him say some stuff while he's walking. And that's really the tricky part here. Because he's walking, we are going to need to layer each individual mouth. So we've got A. We're going to need to move it over so it says A on each frame. Move that up. Do you see what I'm doing here? And each position for this is independent depending on which frame you're on. So you can move this down here and it's going to be down there for that frame, but it's the same layer. So we've got his A walk, his mouth's open, he's looking very, I don't have words for how Mario looks right now. And we're going to render this just like we did the original walking sprite, 300%, and we're going to name it Mario Walk A, because that's the vowel we're using. Ah, his mouth's open. That can be used for other things too. This is our main go-to, and actually I typically will save this as Mario Walk A, just so if I need to pull it up again later and edit it, it's right there, it's done. Next we'll work on Mario E, which is our teeth, Mario's big shiny teeth. This is canon, Mario has big shiny teeth. He's smiling, it kind of looks weird right now. This could also be used as an F. So I might call that Mario E/F. But I won't actually. I'll make a separate one for F. We'll do F in a minute because F has the teeth a little more farther forward. I would probably make his teeth a bit bigger and exaggerated for the F just to show that. So we're going to render E 300% again. Mario Walk E. It's a very, very long process making these videos, but once you get all your parts together, it really comes together. And we're going to save that as Mario Walk E. All right. Our final vowel is OO. And sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I will do O and OO. OO's a little further forward, you see. That would be OO. So we'll do O for now. I know, he looks silly. He's just whistling, you know. And we might want to make that. Sometimes, like I said, I will exaggerate. And we'll keep it like that for now. Move it up. Move it up. That could also be used for whistling, yes. And I don't take offense at people leaving, it's fine. No offense. And we'll save that as Mario Walk. O, make it a big O. Again at 300%. Hi, camera. I didn't see the camera there.
Oh no.
Oh no. Stage fright. No. And we will save that again. Save the actual Photoshop file as Mario Walk O. That doesn't have a resolution, that's just a file. And now we're doing ooh, which for ooh, I'm gonna just copy the original O and I'm gonna keep that separate. And we're gonna just move it forward. And we're gonna fill that in there so his jaw is back in place. It's kind of like anaconda mode. He's gonna eat a baby. I'm inappropriate. You might know that already. And we're gonna copy that to our third frame. That looks okay, I think. We might want to edit that to where it's like, no, that looks weird. I was gonna say we could edit like, make it look like his mustache is raised up when he does that. Yeah, that looks all right. Kinda. I don't know how that's gonna look comparatively. Yeah, that looks all right. We can actually kind of like form his mustache around that a little bit. Does that look okay? No, that doesn't look okay. None of this looks okay. We're just gonna leave it alone. Okay, so Mario's got an anaconda jaw.
As an aside, how long did it take you to do like any of your videos, right? So
this takes a really long time. I will say Castlevania 3 took me, what, 8 months? Mm-hmm. 8 months of nonstop, just animation. And a lot of it, I actually took footage of the game and had to line up the movements of the game so I was getting them properly in my keyframes. And it takes a long time, you guys. But it is so worth it if you want that actual pixel art look. Okay, anyway, 300%, yeah, Mario Walk, and I'm just gonna add another O. Ooh. And we're gonna save the file, save as, Mario, ooh. Now we gotta make a Mario video because I've got all these assets ready. This will be fun. Time to do a Mario song, another Mario song. So we've got Mario walking. I don't really understand why it zooms in the way it does.
it's probably some new Vegas setting.
Yeah, they've kind of retooled Vegas. I'm not quite up on the new shortcuts and all that, but like it's not letting me zoom in over here for some reason. Sorry? I am using Photoshop and Sony Vegas. Actually, it's Magic's Vegas now. Vegas 12.
But any software that allows you to do keyframing.
Yep.
And any photo editing software that allows you to do layering will work.
There are free software for that, like GIMP, Sprite, I believe.
Yeah, I'm actually used to
Which one?
Paint.net.
Paint.net.
I used to try to do stuff on Flash like a decade ago, of course Flash isn't around anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was asking because I'm a little bit familiar with how these things kind of, you know, with the frames and all, it's kind of so much.
It is very similar to Flash animation. I've been asked many times if what I do is Flash, and nope. And they're like, well, then how do you do it? And here we are. So we want to, essentially what we want to do is we want to layer Mario. So we're going to grab our first, actually, I'm skipping a step here. We're going to record what we want Mario to say. He's going to say, let's see. Holy fucking shit, I can't believe the fucking day I've had today. God damn it. Where's my audio? There it is. First technical difficulty of the day. This is good.
At our last panel, we had a Windows update right as we set up. And then it proceeded to crash 3 times. No, so we use an audio interface for all of our things.
We use a Focusrite for everything. So sorry about the technical difficulties here. Didn't work. I can hear some white noise coming through. Try different output. Sorry, guys. Tap these mics with. Keep them. Four maybe. No, it's not coming through. Let's see. It should be all ready to go. Oh yeah, what's that? Okay, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There it is. Okay. So, thank you. Good eye. Did it change back? Well, we're still on focus, right? Dang, sorry guys. I was on a roll there for a minute though. Audio device. Focus right. That should have done it. Okay, we don't need audio. Because it's about the process, right? So I was going to have fun audio. But the panel's done in 15 minutes anyway, so I'm just going to show you what I do to make him talk. We layer Mario Walk A. We're going to have to put it down here for now, but we're going to move it over top of Mario Walk. And we are going to stretch it as far as he is walking. Now, as it is right now, it looks like that, but you can see he's walking at the same rate, and that's important. He's like, and then what we do is, I don't know why the screen's so small. Let's see. There we go. We are going to come in here and we are going to go to our event pan crop again. Can you guys hear me? Sorry. I get a bit tunnel visioned and forget to talk into the microphone. Typically I'm on stage with a guitar or keyboard, and it's different doing panels, it really is. You're going to copy all of these, and you can click one, hold shift, and then click the last one to do that. You're going to copy all these, and we're just going to copy them to the A frame. So then it will look like this. And you can only see the A frame, right? So typically what you do is you grab your audio file down here, and you can actually see it, right? So you can see where your words are. And you basically cut out where he's not opening his mouth. Like something like this. And this is my whole process right here. You can see where the humps are in the audio. The humps. And don't judge me. It's been a long weekend. And essentially you want to press S to split it, because if you drag it over, that's going to screw up your keyframe. So you're going to want to split it using S. And just cut out the excess. It's very subtractive. And it will look something like this. You can see him talking while he's walking. And he's saying, God fucking damn it, the day I've had, Scapelli stole my business again. I met a dinosaur. What the fuck's going on with my life? And from there, you basically, you would layer in all your other vowels and consonants and just repeat the process and just trust the process from there until it lines up. And it does take a long time, but motherfucker. We'll throw it. And you want to keep this one intact because that's your base layer. Your Mario walking is your base layer. For reference, this one. Because if you screw with this, you're not going to be able to copy and paste it to your other layers. So, and I'll even show you. Insert video track, and we're going to, we've still got that copied. So we're going to throw in ooh, because it's hilarious. And we're going to put it in the same spot. same length. You're going to want it the same length because it's going to need to hit at the same spots. And you can see how it dips. That's where your loop starts and ends. So you're going to want to line that up too. Math is very important when you're editing sprites. So we go into our ooh, which looks hilarious. And we just paste that back over. And it's going to look like this at first with just the ooh. You're not going to see anything underneath it because it's masked. And so Mario is going to be saying wah, 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 wah. So we're going to put the oohs before the A's. He might not be saying curse words, but it's still hilarious. The curse words are implied. And we're just going to cut it out. It's very subtractive, as I said. And I do leave space for not talking too, so just so you can see that as an example. We're going to cut it here. We're just guessing at this point because we have no audio. Ideally, you would want to line that up with the audio that you can see. You can see right where your humps are. I don't know why I called them humps. They're waveforms. Technical terms are for squids. So he's going wah, 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 wah. Ooh. He's ooh. He kind of got stuck on the oohs at the end. But
by doing it this way, you maintain the sharpness and quality. So if you do something, if you did something like say Flash, or if you edited the mouth over top afterwards in post processing, it's not going to have that sharp sprite look, which is why we go through this as we bleed the process, right? To keep that integrity and make it look like it's straight from the game, which reinforces the music video aspect of it for us.
right. Exactly. And he's going to walk, and he's going to stop talking right about here because he's getting confused. And when he stops, he's going to go, yee. Why not? We're having fun, right? This could even be him going, I popped the hemorrhoid, you know? Oh, that's not his idol. That's actually him walking. So he's in the same spot as Mario walking. So we're just going to have him walk in place. Why not? And we can move that down. All right. He's going to walk, and he's going to go, wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. I'm a Mario. I'm a Mario. That fucking Scapelli. And he's going to stop. And he's going to go, eee. That's really funny, actually. And he can stop doing that if you put... For some of you, this is probably just child's play, you know. We've all been around in the scene, and we've all messed around with this kind of stuff. At one point, I'm sure. But... and then we just copy idle back over. And that's our fun video. Originally I was gonna have him saying some stuff, and like Mega Man was gonna show up and be like, blah, 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 but he looks pained. This is why I do this, because it's just so funny, you know, making these sprites. Just do whatever you want. Does anybody have any questions at all? Anyone? Please ask me questions. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's check out my work then. We're gonna. If you haven't seen my work, I'll show you what it looks like. There's no audio, of course, but.
Well, this isn't the audio mixing panel.
Right. That was Friday. I wasted all my audio resources on Friday, apparently. This hotel is owned by Dracula, and it's cursed. So you got to roll with the punches. Okay, so projects. If I can find my videos. We're just going to search for Castlevania 3, right? Oh, boy. Video renders. Adventuria. Yep, here's Dracula's Curse. And this is the final result of 8 months. I actually had to rip a lot of this myself, manually, and she helped. Many, many long hours. The intro to the game. All the lightning bolts are different layers. I got them singing. I was going to get into parenting and zooming. You can actually group all your layers together under a folder and then zoom all those in at the same time with Vegas. Very cool. He's eating dinner. He's grabbing stuff. He's gonna kick Simon off of there. Oh, I was gonna say, I hear it too. Am I that stressed out? We got Alucard playing the piano. I use some stuff from like Maniac Mansion. You can dig around and just find stuff that works for you. My Mario 3 video, I used some like Mario's ABCs, sprites or something, and
We used Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island. And you can search Giphy for fun animated GIFs to use in the backgrounds. A lot of this is custom. Grant's transformation was a son of a bitch to animate. He's like, ah, that's custom. Let's kill Shovel Knight. He goes up here. Spider-Man from the Spider-Man NES. But yeah, 8 months worth of work. The Harpies even singing. All this is on YouTube, by the way, if you guys want to check it out with audio later. That was a pain in the ass to animate. Just the different angles, it takes a long time. He's peeing. I have a very raunchy sense of humor. They're singing. Balloons from, God, I forget what game. That goddamn owl. This is probably my best work is this game. Taco Belmont. We had posters. We have those online as well. Taco Belmont posters. So if anyone wants one, support the arts. Cypher raps, Grant raps. Everyone raps in this, and it was quite an undertaking. So if you're interested in doing stuff like that, Grant's head is on fire. That was actually just a torch that I just cut the fire out of. All the bats are animated separately. That was all different layers for each bat. Background silhouettes. Those guys are from Castlevania 2. So yeah, anyone have any questions at all? Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, and it's on the channel The Amazing Brando is the name of the YouTube channel.
You mentioned the tricky game.
for this sort of thing, you know, Mario 3's got really great sprites, and you can attest to that. Solid sprite work in Mario 3. What else? Zelda 3's got really great sprites too. I really enjoy editing Zelda 3 sprites. A lot of fun. But yeah, like I said earlier, Chrono Trigger's got some issues with relying too heavily on the filters, in my opinion. Things aren't in the same place frame to frame, and they did not care. But it doesn't matter because it still looks great. And with that said, do you have anything to add?
Thank you all for coming.
Yes, thank you all for coming out. Glad to see such interest in this kind of art. I applaud you all. Thank you so much. I hope you guys all enjoyed MAGFest, and we'll see you maybe next year, and we'll see you online on the internet. Thanks so much.